A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
Good morning, and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day. This is a special episode in a series of podcasts based on Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. For several years now, I have gone back to the habits taught in this book to prepare for the coming year and home in closer and closer to my lifelong dream and my goals so that I could more effectively achieve my goals. Year after year, we hear people joking about setting New Year's resolutions and then abandoning them by February. Personally, I don't find that very funny. I hope that your resolutions are more important to you than to give them up after only a month or two. What if you were to set 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most resolutions or goals for 2024, and then at the end of 2024, find that you nailed each one of them? You can. I set 2 goals that to me were very large. As I talk about in the Motivational Devotional, I had to change and grow to become more than I was in order to achieve those goals. As I say this now, I have done that. I changed. I grew. I achieved. Starting with the November 27, 2023 podcast and running through the New Year's Eve podcast, this series offers 35 episodes of principles, inspiration, and motivation that I use toward fulfilling my own lifelong dream. I have audacious goals for 2024, but only 3, because more than that will water down your efforts. I will achieve mine by this time next year. You can do the same. And I hope you will pursue yours with relentless intent. If you find these helpful, please go to the Motivational Devotional Facebook page and let me know. For now, let's get on with it. How often do you use a saw? You might be thinking you've never used one, or maybe very rarely, but in a manner of speaking, everyone has a saw, and we use it every day. A lumberjack uses a saw, plain and simple. What do you use during your average day to accomplish your life? Not just your job, but your life. Do you use your brain, your soul, your emotions, also your body? Stephen Covey wrote this simple parable. Suppose you were to come upon someone in the woods working feverishly to saw down a tree. What are you doing, you ask? Can't you see, comes the impatient reply. I'm sawing down this tree. You look exhausted, you exclaim. How long have you been at it? Over 5 hours, he returns. And I'm beat. This is hard work. Well, why don't you take a break for a few minutes and sharpen that saw, you inquire. I'm sure it would go a lot faster. I don't have time to sharpen the saw, the man says emphatically. I'm too busy sawing. One of my hobbies is woodworking, so this parable hits close to home for me. I decided for Christmas this year to learn a new thing, and I cast some sticks in epoxy resin and then turned it on my lathe in my shop. I found out within 30 seconds what dull tools can do. Instead of the pretty shavings flying off the way they do in all the cool videos you can see online, the piece throws off sharp little projectiles at 1,000 miles an hour, and with my hand less than 6 inches from the piece, it was like being hit by a small shotgun. So, before going any further, I had to shut down forward progress and take time to sharpen my chisels. I say that, but the truth is that forward progress should also include the sharpening process. I'm not the world's best at sharpening those things, but I got them a lot better, and I turned out a beautiful bowl for the person most important in my life. Writing that also brings to mind the people who, when asked if they've started something, they say they're getting ready. A month later, they're asked again, and the answer is that they're still getting ready. So, while sharpening the saw or chisel or axe is vital, you can spend so much time sharpening and getting ready that you never get started. I'm throwing that out there as a way to say that just like with my wood-turning chisels, you sometimes have to get sharp enough to get to work, and then later take more time to get sharper, and so on. Sharpening your saw isn't a one-and-done sort of thing. It's the 7th of the 7 habits of highly effective people, because a saw gets dull with use, just like we do, and needs sharpening regularly, just like we do, and gets a lot more done when kept sharp and in tip-top shape, just like we do. So, what is your saw, and how do you sharpen it? If you use your brain, how do you sharpen your thinking process? If you use your emotions, how do you increase your sensitivity? If you use your soul, how do you sharpen your spiritual awareness? If you use your body, how do you sharpen your strength and physical health? If we let any or all of these become dull, is it any wonder that we get frustrated at being unhappy, unfruitful, or ineffective? Rather than setting resolutions for a new year, maybe we should set in stone those things that keep us sharp. It's not like we need a resolution to get back to the gym and just get back in shape so we can look like we used to look. Your livelihood and your family needs you to be healthy. This year, make a plan for sharpening your saw by staying healthy so you don't have as many sick days, and you can be more enjoyable to be around. Whatever your resolutions might be, make them sharpening the saw activities so that you can be a more effective person in 2024. Jesus, Muhammad, the Buddha, and every other way shower withdrew to lonely places, and so that they could stay focused and sharp on their purpose. It's not a time of renewal for simply feeling refreshed and energized. Well, maybe that's a piece of it, but it's more about clarity and sharpness of where to focus relentless intent. We need to periodically put it aside and do something else, which is why I like woodworking. But you do what you do so that you can, in a manner of speaking, pull your chisel off the piece and go sharpen yourself. Find your sharpening stone. Maybe it's exercise, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, some kind of crafts. Play with your pets, clean your house, do some yard work, build a snowman, make bread. You get the idea, but also make part of your sharpening exercise include learning, developing, and researching. Get to know your target audience, get to know your industry, work on your communication skills, sharpening your place in the workplace and how your lifelong dream makes a dent in it. Statistics show that most New Year's resolutions are not kept. Intend instead to sharpen whatever will make your life work better. The first of the 7 habits is to be proactive. The 7th, but certainly not the least of them, is sharpening the saw. When you are going to plan and get everything ready for a goal, especially to relentlessly pursue your lifelong dream, the first thing you should get ready is you. Sharpen your saw with the confidence that all of creation is conspiring in your favor. Trust that the universe always has your back and will consistently have your back throughout 2024. Abraham Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe."
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold-Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.